Hi there. Okay, in this video, what we're going to work on is leg strength. Now, I think core is number one, but I think legs are really number two. So we need the core for the whole body to function well, but we need our legs to get around, to be able to do what we want to do, to go up and down stairs, to be able to go up and down hills, to get out to visit people, to have fun in life. So leg strength is super important. So in this video, we're going to work on a series of 6 exercises that we can use for leg strength. Now, you can do them with body weight. You can do them by adding weight. I'm going to show them to you just with body weight. And with body weight, you might get into a ridiculous number of repetitions to get to your fatigue point. That's why you'd add weight. So first one is a squat. Second one is a reverse lunge. Third one is sit to stand. Fourth one is a sidestepping motion. The fifth one is a step up. That's why we have my plyo box here. And the last one is a Bulgarian split squat. Okay. Now, I think the critical point with each one is you go to a fatigue point. Now, I know that's a little bit of a vague comment, but what is a fatigue point? A fatigue point is where you're tired, where you feel like you can't or won't do anymore, or you reach a point where the quality of the movement or the form really starts to fall apart. So relative fatigue is what we're looking for. So you're not going to do 10, you're not going to do 12, you're not going to do 20. You're going to go to your fatigue point. So it could be less than 10 or it could be 50 with body weight or 70 or 100. So you go to your fatigue point, okay? Now, I think a lot of people avoid leg work because not only is it muscular, but it's also a cardiovascular exercise. So expect your heart rate to go up, expect your breathing rate to go up. That's all good stuff. And take breaks whenever you need to, have water whenever you need to. So I'm going to suggest you go through these at least twice a week, if not 3 times. It shouldn't take you more than 10 or 12 minutes to go through the sequence. Okay, first one is a squat. I'm not going to go through the details of the squat other than with a few pointers. What I always tell my clients is the squat is not a knee bend. So yes, it's a knee bend, but in your brain, it's not a knee bend. It's initiated through the hips. So this is where the squat happens, is in the hips. The knees come along for the ride. Okay, so squats. So let's go through this. Now, there's lots of ways of doing it. What I like to do is take my arms out when I'm doing it. So this is how I like to do a squat. All the while I'm holding my core, I'm holding my glutes, I'm going as low as I can comfortably. There should be no pain. There might be a little bit of clicking and popping in your knees. As long as it's pain-free, that's within the realm of what I would call normal. Now, when I do a body weight squat, I can do lots of them. So I go to a relative fatigue point. On any given day, it can be 50 to 80 squats, okay? Now, I might choose to do a weighted squat with dumbbells or kettlebells or a barbell, whatever you like. If you're doing these at home, you use what you've got. All right, squat's number one. Second one is a reverse lunge. Okay, so nice and tall. The thing with the lunge is it's not got a forward lean to it. So what you're going to try to do is stay up. You can put your hands on something. You're going to step back. You want to take your knee till it's just above the floor. Now, ideally, you want to do this without holding on because then there's a balance component. So the reverse lunge is very different than the squat in that it's not stable. So a fair bit of the time, you are on one leg in the reverse squat. So that's why at first, you may want to be holding on to something as you do that. Okay? Again, going to fatigue point, I usually reverse or go right, left, right, left. Okay? Third one is a sit to stand. Now, sit to stand is something that we think is an essential motion. But sit to stand can also be a really challenging strengthening exercise if you do it well. So what you want with your sit to stand is you want to have your feet fairly close to what you're sitting on. If you're in a chair, you don't want to be all the way back in the chair. You want to be forward in the chair so you can lean forward, and then you want to power it up using your glutes and your quads. Now, on the way down, this is where most people fall apart, because what they do is they plop down. And what you want to do is power it, lift it up, lower it down with control. What I'm often going to see is people use momentum and then they fall down. Okay, so if you can do the sit to stand with control the whole time, it's going to be an effective exercise for you. Now, if you can do a lot of these, go to a single leg sit to stand. So that looks like this. Again, the leg is back. You lean forward and you power it up. Okay, with the single leg sit to stand, there's way more muscle activity than in the two-legged sit to stand. Okay, now I can reach a fatigue point in a reasonable number with a single leg sit to stand, but not so with a two-legged one, or I can add weight. Okay, so we had the squat, reverse lunge, and sit to stand. The next one is a side step. So with the side step, what we're trying to do is include a little bit of lateral movement here. So you're going to start off nice and slow. You're going to step it out. So it's got balance, it's one leg, and the further you go, the lower you go, the more power there is there. So, you know, how many can you do of this before your legs or your glutes are screaming at you? Well, that's going to be a personal thing. But if you want it to be harder, go lower. You can even touch the floor each time to really get you down on that side step. Okay. Number 5, step-ups. I would say that the step-up is probably my favorite of the leg exercises. It requires lots of quad and glute strength, and it incorporates balance. So I think the single leg exercises are really the most critical here. So let's go through the technique of a step up. I'm doing 16 inches here. You can go lower, you can go higher, but you want to make sure that it's not putting you into strain and that there's no pain in your knees when you do it. So leg is up. You're going to lean forward. So almost all the weight is on this leg. From there, you're going to power it up. So what you don't want to do is push off that back leg. You want to lower with control, and you're never really stepping back onto the leg. So there you are. You're here, you power it, up you come, you lower it with control. Lots of balance, lots of control. In you go, power it up, go down, lowering with control, tap it down. Don't lean onto that leg. Keep as little weight on that leg at the bottom as you can here. You can certainly do them faster if you want. You can add some speed, but what I want you to do is really work on the control on your step up. Okay? So step ups body weight, step ups with weight. Okay. The last one is the Bulgarian split squat. I mean, I would say it's probably for a lot of people their least favorite exercise because it's so hard. But when I do Bulgarian split squats, the next day I feel my glutes if I've done weight because it really works your body. So with the split squat, you can use whatever height you've got there. It can either be done on the top of the foot or on the toes, your choice. So you want to make sure that the front leg is far enough forward so you can get the knee down. You want to hold your core, hold your glutes, backs up nice and strong, and down you go. You want to have most of the work on this front leg. So the back leg is really there more for balance than push off. So power it up from the front leg. Power it up from the front leg. And with this, every time you're kind of looking for your fatigue point there in the quad and in the glutes. Okay, there we have it. 6 unbelievably good exercises for your quads. Squat, reverse lunge, sit to stand, either two legs or one. Side steps, which can be a big hop if you've got the power. Step ups is number 5. And the last one is Bulgarian split squats. And you can hear I'm breathing a little bit from the split squats. All right, give it a shot. Please don't do any exercises that hurt your knees. Not okay, not productive. All right, any questions? Please drop me a note at the bottom and give it a shot. Thanks for watching. This video is sponsored by Feel Good Omega H+. If you're looking for a pure, effective omega-3, try Dr. Tobias Feel Good H+. It's a sustainably sourced calamari oil harvested in the Atlantic and processed in Norway and California. This omega-3 supplement is packed with EPA and DHA for a sharper mind and healthier skin, heart, and joints. My doctor told me that if you only take one supplement, it should be an omega-3. Feel Good H+ is lab tested to be pure and free from toxins and heavy metals. It's a safe, eco-friendly alternative to fish oil or krill-based omegas and has no fishy aftertaste. You can find Feel Good Omega H+ at peterdobias.com. That's peterdobias.com.